Croeso everybody, this is Bea and Janet, and we're in the Temple of Caradwen here in Avalon, and I wanted to have a chat with Janet about her new course, the Priestess of the Moon. Now she beta tested it on the students of the Priestess of Caradwen course who loved it, and now she's ready to launch it for people who are interested in all sorts of things that she's wishing to teach. There is a website, you can look it up and you can buy it from that website, but I really would like to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. What is the Priestess of the Moon course?
So the Priestess of the Moon course is essentially about divination, and it is about learning to pierce the veil between the present and the future, and to get information from Goddess, from the dragons, from the guides, from the helpers, and using all sorts of tools, including astrology and cards, and we'll be experimenting with a lot of different types of divination, because there are an awful lot of types of divination. So for example, we're starting on the 17th of October with the full moon in Aries, and because it's the fire sign, I want to be looking at working with fire and doing candle scrying and things like that. When we get into the full moon in Taurus, then we'll probably be doing scrying with crystals. And when we get into the full moon in Gemini, I would like to have a go at bibliomancy, which is using books to get words and messages. So there's lots and lots of different types of divination. And I genuinely believe that the only way you learn divination is by doing it. You can't really read a book about it and that's it, I've got it. It doesn't really work that way. So we're going to be doing lots of practical divination on the course, divining for each other and seeing how we get on. And it doesn't matter if one particular type of divination doesn't work for you, because there's loads more different types. So learning how to hone your intuition and learning how to really trust yourself and learning how to divine, both for yourself and for others.
Excellent. So when does it start?
It starts on the 17th of October.
And it costs?
You can pay in a lump sum of £600, or you can pay about £50 for each session. And it goes for a year, so there'll be 12 lessons, each costing around £50 each.
Mm-hmm. Do you need any previous experience or knowledge?
None at all. This is level 1 astrology, as it were. It won't be deep or complex, and you won't need to have a degree in mathematics to work things out or anything like that. It is introductory level when it comes to the astrology, so nothing too complicated or difficult.
So I'm going to throw a couple of questions that you might not have expected, but we sit in this temple quite a lot and we talk to a lot of people who are very anxious about what's happening in the world and what's going to be our future. And you very often sort of explain to us about, for example, at the moment we're in the eclipse season, and yesterday we had a solar eclipse in Libra, and there were several people reported last night very tough dreams, quite a few horror dreams, and also that they were lifting out of their body, that the vibration was so strong they were lifting out of their body. How important do you think it is to actually know the future, or at least have some sort of understanding of what's happening to us at this moment of time?
I think it's important because it gives us a sort of heads up as to the energies that are coming in and what we can deal with, and it's so much easier if you have some idea of what you're letting yourself in for, and that is, true with all sorts of things in life. And it's also, for me personally, it helps me to get perspective, that it's not just, oh, this isn't just happening to me, and to not take it personally, but oh yeah, well, Mars was in Scorpio, so naturally I might be feeling that or whatever. So it helps you to sort of understand and ground yourself in the moment so that you're not getting too upset about things. It gives you perspective, is what I believe.
And you will also be working with tarot cards?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
And oracle cards. I always say to people, I won't leave home without having checked my card for the day. You're actually a professional reader with the Goddess Temple gift shop, is that right?
Yes, I am, yes.
Yeah. And so you've got quite a few people coming in who are worried about their own personal development and
Yes.
also about what the world is like.
Yes, yeah. And it's interesting that I was having a discussion with the lady who came in the temple earlier, and she said, oh, what happens if you get bad cards, and what do you say to people? And it's a difficult thing when you sat there in a reading and you pull a card like 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, you sort of, oh. But I believe that we owe it to people to be honest. We can't say, oh, this is all love and light, when it isn't. It's not fair to do that. But of course there are ways and ways of saying things. And I've had people come to me and say, oh, a previous tarot reader said X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, they said what? You're like, and one lady came to me and she said a previous tarot reader had told her she'd never have a boyfriend. And I thought, what a thing to say. Firstly, you never say never. You don't. This is a moment in time. For me, the tarot or oracle reading, it's a snapshot in time. It's not this is forever written in tablets of stone. It doesn't work that way. And I would never be that negative and that horrible to anyone. I might say you might have a few difficulties with your relationships in the next few months, etc., etc. But no, you'll never have a boyfriend. I'd never say that.
I actually know that here in Glastonbury, because we do have a lot of readers, and people might find it, people who come and visit, do find it difficult to find somebody who is actually really genuine, which is, one of the reasons why you're offering the course now, so that people actually can help themselves as well as be with somebody. But I actually heard of somebody who reads here that makes people so paranoid and so frightened that he has continuous business because they keep coming back, because he says you better come back here and be told what to do. And I find that so appalling. A lot of people think that tarot reading or oracle card reading is just a bit of fun or nonsense. Do you find that?
I do have people who come and they sort of sit there and giggle through it and whatever, and it's like, okay, if that's what makes you happy in the moment. I always do my best to give a genuine reading and whatever, and sometimes people come and they start off a bit giggly and then they're like, whoa. So yeah, it does sometimes work that way.
Because I absolutely believe that the cards can tell us.
Yes.
What could people do with the knowledge they learn? Could they do what you do? Could they start going out and help people with readings and things like that?
They could do, they absolutely could do. If that's what they want to do, then they can. Of course, you can just use it as a tool for personal development, for yourself and for continuous learning, finding out what's going on with your life and dealing with your energies. But you can, of course, use it to guide and help other people as well.
And I have people who come in here and they're readers themselves, but they know the same as I know that if you're a reader and you see the cards, every now and then the ego sort of sets in and you sort of go, yeah, but it could also mean that. It's best to see another reader, even if you're a reader yourself. I certainly,
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Because it's easy, especially when you're turning over a card and you're reading for yourself and you look at, I don't know, the King of Cups comes up and you think, oh, that's my husband. Well, we make that assumption. It might not actually be that. When we're reading for ourselves, it's very hard to be objective in your own life. So sometimes you need somebody else and they can say, oh, this is this person. And you're like, oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
I've had that. So, and astrology. So I'm one of those people who thinks that astrology is a wonderful tool, but it will take a lifetime to learn. So what you're offering is an entrance level, and for dummies, astrology for dummies like me. But it is a step into maybe learning more at a later stage.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's not like really in-depth astrology. There are various other people offering other courses who can give you the really in-depth, detailed knowledge. I mean, you could study astrology for, assuming you lived long enough, 200 years and you'd still be learning more. So it's an incredibly, it's like a sort of wormhole that you could disappear into. But yeah, I'm just ready to start people off at the very first level.
That's it's a relief for me, because I do find astrology is a big topic. So it's absolutely wonderful that you're with us. I really am incredibly grateful for your knowledge, for your wisdom. You know that you're literally running this temple with me, and it is time that the people who are genuine and who know their stuff step up as teachers. I know it's not always easy. It's quite a scary prospect, isn't it? Yeah, but it's we all learn part, and I think it's really good to learn from somebody who actually is in this thick of it here in Glastonbury, Avalon, who's seeing people on a regular basis every week, who actually talks astrology here in the temple with people all the time. And I do say, I sit there and I listen to you and Fiona, and I'm like, I feel such a dummy, but it's helpful. I never forget. Let me tell this little story. Do you remember us sitting here and it was beginning of the year, and I said to you, when is it going to get better? And what did you say to me? Do you remember?
Something about this year's not going to be too bad, but next year...
Yeah. One of the things you said is 29th of April or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I went, from the 29th of April. And you turned around and said, no, the 29th of April. And I was like, oh my goddess. So it really is, it's forearmed, is forewarned. I think knowing divination, working with the cards, working with the astrology, actually, gives us a sense of peace in a way, that you know what might be coming. You know?
And I always say that with astrology as well, particularly with the natal astrology, that Goddess gives us an energy. So for example, my ascendant is Scorpio. Goddess has given me that energy. What I do with that energy is up to me.
Yeah.
I can be vengeful, I can be bitter, I can be nasty, or I can use that to go deep in my life and affect transformation. You always have a positive and a negative, and it's up to you what you do with that energy.
So tell me something about ascendant in Sagittarius. What would you say about that?
Oh, Sagittarius, you have the sun in Sagittarius.
Oh, I have the sun in Sagittarius,
Yes,
that's
the
right.
sun in Sagittarius. The sun in Sagittarius is adventure and wanting to experience lots of different things. There's travel, and it's travel to do with not just physical travel, but travel of the mind. So knowledge, and interested in philosophy and religion and metaphysics and all of these things, and liking to travel around the world, meet people, whatever. The shadow side of Sagittarius is this kind of searching for truth. And once you've found what you think is your truth, that this is my truth, this is how it is, and everyone else can be quiet. And I'm being polite when I say that. So you don't strike me as being like that.
Well, yeah, but I can be, and it's spot on. What you say is spot on, and it's good. Like I said, it's good to know that part of you. It actually unlocks the mystery that is us, for ourselves.
Yeah.
And once you get to know yourself better, your life becomes a lot easier, and it flows more smoothly, I think.
Yes, yeah. It's nice to know what your shadow parts are, so that you can say, oh yes, I know where I'm going with this. Stop that. Yeah.
So when you have when you have these students now, will you be going through their natal chart and help them discover?
We will be looking at parts of the natal chart. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that for that alone, it's already
Yes,
worth it, isn't it?
exactly.
You're getting a year-long astrology reading for yourself with this course. It's that's brilliant. I love it. So is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I do like to make the whole learning process to be quite fun as well. I like to bring humour into things and not be too deadly serious about it all. It is serious in its own way, but I still think that you can have fun with it too. So I want it to be informative but fun.
Yeah. And you always make it informative and fun. And she breaks it down into small pieces for those of us who are slightly, underdeveloped in that matter. So thank you so much for that, Janet. You're an absolute
welcome.
star. And like I said, the people who have done the Priest of Caledon course, and there were 40 odd this year, all loved the material that you put on, and they learned an awful lot from you, and they loved it. So you know, that if anything is a recommendation for
Thank
anyone
you.
who is interested in doing your course. Thank you so much, my darling, for stepping up into your teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Lots of love, everybody.